This is News 8 Now, this morning.
There's low vacancies in La Crosse, so that's what drives us there. But also, when we're looking for a site, we want to be, in the heart of downtown where the people are, near parks, near rivers, near the people.
At Roosevelt, we had an old school. We sold it, and it became a housing unit, multi-housing unit. And so right now, that probably looks like the best use for this space. So whatever it is, we just want it to be a part of the neighborhood.
Favorite part about the bike ride is not knowing what's around the next corner and around the next curve, and it's all a new adventure and figuring it out as you go. And a lot of people would overplan it. I would rather underplan it.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye opener. I'm Dua Esrar.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is August 11th, 2023.
Yeah.
Man, is it storming outside.
Yeah, I ran into some rain here on my way to work this morning. I'm sure you did too. Did you get wet? Because when I walked into the building, I was like almost soaked because we had that moderate downpour.
Well, when I came in, it wasn't even moderate. It was like really coming down.
It was heavy then,
yeah,
right? Yeah. So, and some of us are dealing with the heavy rain right now on the radar picture. So let's get to that here, and we can see that we're tracking some of those heavy showers that continue to move through areas such as our central and southern communities here, especially this morning. And it looks like the rain showers are going to continue to move through the area through at least the later morning hours. It should probably clear out, I'm thinking, sometime between 9 to 10 o'clock this morning, at least for most locations. But you can see on the radar behind me, it's definitely very busy this morning on your morning commute. We're tracking a lot of heavy showers, mainly across our central and southern communities. So areas like La Crosse, Tomah, Viroqua, Prairie du Chien, Blue River, and to Rockbridge there in Richland County. You are looking at some of those heavy downpours right now. Meanwhile, across our central and northern zones, areas like Black River Falls, Mentor, in towards Clark County, and just west of City Point and along I-94, you're also looking at some moderate to heavy rainfall this morning as well. And all this activity continues to move towards the east with some embedded thunderstorms as well. So you may run into some flashes of lightning, some rumbles of thunder as well here too. And then this all should clear out of here in the next couple of hours. Current temperatures are into the mid to upper 60s, 69 in La Crosse, 65 degrees currently in Eau Claire. And you can see just a gloomy picture there from CityCam with that rain coming down. Again, should continue through at least 8 to 10 o'clock. And then we turn sunny as we head into the rest of the day today. But there is a chance of more thunderstorms as we head into this evening. I'll have those details coming up in just a bit. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says the death of a man at Gentleman's Club is officially a homicide. The Sheriff's Office says its investigation with the DOJ is ongoing. On June 30th, police found 55-year-old Andrew Frechette dead in a car outside the Jimmy's In Between in the town of Alma. Anyone with information that could help the investigation is urged to call the Jackson County Communications Center. You can also submit anonymous tips to the Jackson County Crime Stoppers. We'll have that information on our website and our app. The man accused of escaping police in Prairie du Chien and trying to disarm an officer was in court. 26-year-old Paul Germanson pleaded not guilty to charges of attempting to disarm a peace officer, possession of narcotic drugs, and resisting an officer. Crawford County Police say he escaped police and stole a car outside a hospital earlier this month. While on the run, he bought heroin, ditched the car near Stoddard, and made it on foot to La Crosse before police found him. That's according to the criminal complaint. Germanson also allegedly tried to grab one of the police officer's guns because he, quote, wanted to be killed. Germanson is being held on a $10,000 cash bond. Sorry, we're having some technical issues, but continuing, the La Crosse's Judiciary and Administrative Committee greenlit a project to bring a 4-story apartment building to the city with several hundred units. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall spoke with city council officials and developers about the new housing options.
Gage Olson is new to the area. A college student with intentions to be in La Crosse for the foreseeable future, he would love to see more apartments in the city.
It'd be nice to have more apartments near the downtown area because, I mean, I go to college here at Western, and a little easier drive.
T-Wall Enterprises, a property management company, proposed to demolish this vacant La Crosse Tribune building and use the lot next to it to add more than 200 apartments with 6,000 square feet of commercial space.
There's low vacancies in La Crosse, so that's what drives us there. But also, when we're looking for a site, we want to be, in the heart of downtown where the people are, near parks, near rivers, near the people.
Located off of 3rd Street and Pine Street, the building has been vacant since 2019, when the Tribune moved. Bunn says his company wants to have an upscale type of housing option.
It'll have, club room, a pool, a hot tub, some grilling stations out in a large patio area, fire pits, cabana and lounge seating. We've seen residents really like those. Lately, we've been putting in, work from home offices as an amenity. So, people that do work from home have the ability to get out of their units and go work in a different space, a different room.
Bunns isn't the only one that thinks the city can use more housing. Common Council member Chris Kalo says the city needs affordable and mid-range housing and more single-family homes. The project is just the start.
We have projects that are going to be started over on 4th and Jackson. There's another project we approved over on 7th and Cass. We have a lot of housing that is coming. River Point North is going to have a lot of housing.
There will be an added tax base to help fund the multifamily development. When asked, Kalo did not say how much it'll be. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin made a stop in Fort McCoy to tour new buildings that she helped secure funding for. Baldwin acquired $69 million for the fort. $39 million went towards building a new permanent barracks that is expected to house 400 enlisted soldiers. The other $31 million went towards barracks that are utilized for 160 officers during training. The La Crosse School District is officially accepting bids for Lincoln Middle School. News 8 Now's Michael Germain spoke with district officials on their hopes for the building's future.
Our school district's been experiencing declining enrollment for a while.
The decision to close Lincoln Middle School did not come easy.
I think the site was the original first site of a school building in the county of La Crosse.
And deciding what to do with the building next has proven no easier.
At Roosevelt, we had an old school. We sold it and it became a housing unit, multi-housing unit. And so right now that probably looks like the best use for this space. So whatever it is, we just want it to be a part of the neighborhood.
After the Washburn Neighborhood Association successfully lobbied to have the building added to the city's list of historic landmarks, anyone who buys it will be limited in the changes they can make. For those who want to see the building preserved, it's the best path forward.
You think about everything that's probably happened inside this building or on this block in the last 100 years. And actually before this building, there was a school site here as well. So it's been well over 100 years that there's been a school at this site.
Who purchases the building next is still unknown.
We've got a request for proposals process that will wrap up hopefully in late October. And once that does, we hope to close with the developer at some point thereafter.
Popular ideas include an affordable housing development or a community center. Bid proposals are due on September 20th. We have submission information on our website and News 8000 app. It's a journey several years in the making. Jay Yankee embarked on this morning on a more than 1,400-mile bike ride. His goal is to reach Portland, Maine in a month. Yankee is using this journey to raise awareness for APTIV. APTIV helps people with disabilities learn new skills and help them be independent and more active in their communities. Yankee says that the best part about the bike ride is not knowing what will come next.
Favorite part about the bike ride is not knowing what's around the next corner and around the next curve, and it's all a new adventure and figuring it out as you go. And a lot of people would overplan it. I would rather underplan it.
Yankee is hoping to raise $100,000 before he gets to Portland. He has already raised more than $64,000. If you would like to donate to Jay's bike ride, you can go to aptiv.org/jaysride. We'll post a link on our website, news8000.com.
Thanks again.
The Wisconsin Bike Fed is introducing a new program to get seniors on the move outside. The Cycling Without Age program provides the feeling of riding a bicycle for those who are unable to pedal on their own. The program uses something you may have not seen before, a Trishaw. It's a 3-wheeled, pedal-assisted electric bike. A senior or two sit in the front while a volunteer pedals in the back. Organizers say Cycling Without Age is about socializing as much as it is about biking.
So these are designed to get people out and about, improve intergenerational connections, and reduce or eliminate social isolation and loneliness.
The Wisconsin Bike Federation said they are excited to bring Cycling Without Age to the greater La Crosse region and hopes to share how a simple Trishaw ride can provide older adults with an enriched outdoor experience. The Tomah VA Medical Center hosted a mini fair in La Crosse. Representatives from different programs the VA offers were there to help veterans. Family members and caregivers learn more about the offered programs. The public affairs specialist at the medical center says they hold fairs like this to help bring awareness to lesser-known programs at the VA.
Well, we do a mini fair because it highlights a lot of our programs within the Tomah VA Medical Center. So veterans who may not be familiar that we have a chaplain services, we have our chaplain services here. Maybe veterans and caregivers who are not familiar with our Voc Rehab program. We have a Voc Rehab program or our rehabilitations program.
For more information on the different programs offered at the Tomah VA Medical Center, we'll have a link to their website, news8000.com. The Ashley for the Arts Music Festival is underway in Arcadia. The weekend-long festival will feature bands like REO Speedwagon, One Republic, Walk the Moon, as well as a few others. The festival will also host a few other events like an inflatable air park, craft fair, and a military canine demonstration. For more information about the event, we will have a link to their website on news8000.com. The 18th annual Irish Fest also kicks off in La Crosse today. Volunteers spent the day yesterday putting the final touches on the Southside Fest grounds. There is a full lineup of music, cultural experiences, Highland games, and a whole lot more. Some of the performances on the main stage will be Screaming Orphans, Gaelic Storm, and Glencastle. Tickets will be $25 for a 3-day pass. One-day passes will be $15. Children 17 and under can attend for free. Well, still ahead on your morning news, the Supreme Court has blocked opioid manufacturer Purdue Pharma from paying a $6 billion settlement to the victims of the epidemic. News 8 Now has the details when we return. And with American credit card debt at $1 trillion for the first time in history, we look at some useful tips for those looking to pay down their debt. That and more is coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Scientists in Australia announced that they've discovered a species of giant amphibian that lived 240 million years ago. The discovery came after construction workers found an ancient fossil in quarry rocks that were being used to build a wall. Scientists have named the species Aranerpeton supinatus, which is Latin for supine sand creeper. The creature is believed to have inhabited freshwater rivers during the Triassic period. Scientists say the entire skeleton and parts of the skin are preserved, making this fossil quite a rare find. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Still watching some heavy showers and a couple of embedded thunderstorms across much of our central and southern communities this morning, and you can see them really coming down across areas like Tomah, Viroqua, Hillsboro, also into Richwood, I should say, along Highway 14 up towards I-90 as well. Looking at some of these heavy downpours here coming through at the moment. Areas like Neillsville and southern Clark County, as well as portions of west central Jackson County, such as Black River Falls there, and also down to Little Falls and Warrens. Looking at some of the heavy downpours that currently are moving through your neighborhood. And all this activity continues to push its way towards the east. Over the next couple of hours, we will start to see some clearing clearing here, followed by some more chances of thunderstorms as we head into the early evening hours. And we'll get to that here a little bit later. Do want to show you your zone forecast today, though, with our forecast highs into the mid-80s come this afternoon. We'll be at a high of 83 today in Viroqua and 87 in New Albin, 86 today in Stoddard, and it will be 86 in Lansing. Heading into the central zones, mid-80s can be set here this afternoon, 83 in Blair today and a high of 84 in Melrose. We'll be looking at highs reaching 85 in Trempealeau, and across the Chippewa Valley, low 80s can be set here today with that high of 81 degrees in Chippewa Falls. Dog walking conditions this morning looking pretty wet with some of those scattered showers around. Partly cloudy this afternoon, and then by this evening, that's when we will be looking clear, but watching for more thunderstorms later this evening. Again, more details on that coming up in the forecast in a few minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court has put Purdue Pharma's bankruptcy deal on hold. The nation's highest court this week blocked the opioid manufacturer from moving ahead with a $6 billion settlement. The settlement would have released the Sackler family from liability over the nation's opioid crisis. The Sacklers controlled Purdue Pharma until recently and made billions from OxyContin, the drug many public health experts say fueled the opioid crisis. Grocery pickup and delivery service Instacart is now accepting food stamps in all 50 U.S. states. That means that Instacart users can now purchase groceries online using their SNAP benefits. Instacart connects shoppers to more than 10,000 stores across the country. According to the USDA's Food and Nutrition Service, more than 42 million Americans are enrolled in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as SNAP. A new consumer credit report shows Americans have hit $1 trillion in credit card debt. Cole Higgins has 3 tips on how to help pay your debt off.
Americans' borrowing habits reaching a historic milestone. For the first time ever, credit card debt levels have surpassed $1 trillion. That's according to data released Tuesday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
What we're seeing here is more people carrying more debt. The New York Fed says credit card balances are at a record high for longer periods of time.
Meanwhile, a new Bankrate survey finds 47% of U.S. credit card holders are currently carrying credit card debt month to month. It comes as interest rates have soared to levels not seen in over 2 decades.
The average credit card charges about 20.5%. So there are definitely some worrisome signs there.
Ted Rossman, senior analyst at Bankrate.com, has 3 tips for people holding a lot of credit card debt. 1, try the avalanche method. List your debts from the highest to lowest interest rate, make the minimum monthly payment on each, and then invest all your extra cash toward paying off the highest interest debt. Repeat until you've paid all your debts down. 2, consider a zero balance transfer credit card. It allows you to transfer your existing high-cost debt over to a new card and pauses the interest clock for up to 21 months.
For those 21 months, the ability to avoid interest is really powerful. That could save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, depending on how much you owe.
And 3, get your spending under control. Bankrate suggests focusing on basic necessities and obligations and delaying major purchases like cars.
According to credit reporting agency Experian, in 2022, the average American household credit card debt was $5,910. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Duo. We are looking at some showers that continue to move through the Cooley region. Some of these are on the heavy side, and you can see areas like Tomah, down south into Viroqua, and also east into Hillsboro. And as far south as Richwood, we're still getting some heavy downpours that continue to move through your neighborhood, and also up towards our central and northern communities, areas like Neilsville, and also into Black River Falls, and also into northern Monroe County, into Warren's area. Looking at some heavy downpours that are continuing to move through your area as well. And really all this activity is pretty linear, and you can see it moving its way towards the east. So I'm expecting this to clear out here within the next 1 to 2 hours or so. And this is all associated with this trough of low pressure that we continue to watch here for you this morning as it continues to move east. We will be expecting these showers and thunderstorms to also move their way towards the east throughout the rest of the morning. So here's 9 o'clock, and I do expect the majority of the showers and storms to come to a close. Could see a few lingering showers associated with this activity, though, as we head to the late morning. And then by 2 o'clock this afternoon, everything should come to a close, and then we turn mostly sunny. Skies will continue to remain on the clear side sky through at least 6 o'clock this evening. However, I am watching for another chance of showers and thunderstorms once again to develop as we're watching another disturbance in the upper levels to move their way towards the east. That could set off a couple of isolated thunderstorms to the north and some scattered showers and thunderstorms down to the south as well. And these could be particular strong to even severe here at times as they move through. Now I'm expecting these to clear out here as we head into around midnight or so, and then by overnight around 3 o'clock I do expect the storms to clear out even further, and by 10 o'clock tomorrow, in the beginning of your weekend, things are looking nice. We got that northwest wind behind the low pressure system that brought us the thunderstorms here today, and we are going to be looking at this trend continuing throughout the rest of the day tomorrow under mostly sunny skies. All right, so we talked about the thunderstorms as we head into this evening. So some of those that I'll be watching closely here for you today for the threats of gusty winds, large hail, maybe even some heavy rain, with the best timing between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. here this evening. So we'll watch all of the Coulee region because all of us are under that level 2 slight risk of severe weather, which means that scattered severe thunderstorms are possible. Now this is great news for our drought monitor index, and this just came out yesterday, so we're showing it to you now this morning because it usually comes in during the late morning to afternoon. And you can see that a lot of us are under this moderate drought status for the majority of the area. We're still looking at that level 4, however, extreme drought condition for our extreme southeastern communities, though. So we'll take any rain that we can get, and the rain that we're seeing this morning and then once again this evening, definitely not bad news here for us. We can use it. Our current temperature is at 69 degrees in La Crosse with rainy conditions and a little bit gusty, around 25 miles an hour coming from the south-southeasterly direction. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire, you're currently at 65, not looking as wet and stormy here, however, and our current temperature readings are into the mid to upper 60s as you head out the door this morning. Temperatures warming up to 78, partly cloudy by noon, and then turning sunny, 86 degrees by 4 o'clock. 8 o'clock this evening, I'm watching for a chance of a few isolated thunderstorms again, something we'll keep our eyes on with temperatures there in the 70s. But our forecast highs today will be into the low to mid 80s come this afternoon. All right, check now on your 8-day forecast. And as we head into tomorrow, again, mostly sunny. I'm watching for another chance of storms on Sunday and then perhaps again on Monday next week. And then the rest of next week looks fairly nice, mixed sun and clouds, highs in the 80s, slight chance of storms on Thursday. All right, stay with us. There's much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with a look what happened on this day in history for August 11th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. Football is back. Most of our area high school teams are set to begin their regular season 1 week from today. A lot of good teams across the Coulee region, including the two-time defending state champs, the Aquinas Blue Golds. Over the last 2 seasons, the Blue Golds have gone 27-1, winning the Division 5 state title both years. But it's a new era for Aquinas. They lost a lot of talent, including their offensive leader, star quarterback Jackson Flottmeyer. Head coach Tom Lee says the team has already put the last 2 seasons in the past. What's most important are the players they have this year. They've got some studs, including Shane Willenbring, who's looking to have one more big season before going to South Dakota State next year. Willenbring was a part of the last 2 championship seasons. He knows what it takes to win. Now it's just about making sure everyone else has the same mentality.
You know, you always have people that you look up to. I mean, last year's seniors were great, and there's just always people. Like when I was a freshman, I kind of got taken under, you know, their wings, and it's just super helpful people, and everyone's, you know, super helpful and inclusive and stuff. And I think it kind of just builds a culture. And, you know, once you like make friends with people like that, you kind of, you know, you fight for them during the games and stuff. I think that's really what pushes you to be great.
Willenbring and the rest of the Blue Golds have a scrimmage at Logan High tonight. Then they kick off their season on the road down in Prairie du Chien. Loggers in Eau Claire last night taking on the Express. La Crosse in trouble in the second. Already 2-0 Eau Claire. This is going to double the Express's lead. It one-hops the wall. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Eau Claire would tack on 1 more to go up by 5. Still a 5-run lead in the 6th, but the Loggers get one back, and this ball might have landed at the lumberyard. Brandon Fields crushes one to left center. A solo shot makes it 8-4, but the Express get that run back in the 7th. High chopper to second. Only play is at first. Eau Claire goes back up by 5, but the Loggers not going down quietly. Let's go to the 9th. La Crosse with 2 on. Colin Bergman shoots one the other way for a base hit. Fields comes in to score. That cuts it to 4, but Aiden Sweat can check his swing, and that's going to end it. Express take care of the Loggers for the second straight night. 9-5 the final in this one. Lacrosse will be in Rochester tonight to battle with the Honkers. Twins looking for the series split in Detroit, but they'd have their hands full with Tiger starting pitcher Reese Olson. The righty was dealing. Jorge Polanco looks at strike 3. Ryan Jeffers frozen as well. And Matt Wallner going to take strike 3 on the corner. 8 Ks for Olson on the day. And Riley Green is going to break the scoreless tie in the 6th. He crushes one deep to right center. Solo shot's going to put the Tigers on top 1-0. And Detroit adding some insurance in the 7th. Bases loaded for Zach McKinstry. He delivers a base hit into right field. That's going to play to pair. Twins get shut out in the series finale 3-0. Minnesota drops 3 out of 4 in the Motor City. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Minnesota Senator Tina Smith visited Rushford to tout funds that will go towards expanding broadband access in rural areas. Senator Smith helped acquire $13.6 million from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Development Office's Reconnect Loan and Grant Program. The funds will go towards the construction and improvement of facilities needed to give rural areas broadband access. While touring MI Energy cooperatives, the senator explained why it's important for everyone to have access to broadband.
Broadband isn't just nice to have, it's necessary for your job, your education, many people are working remotely. People want to live in this part of America, but they've got to have broadband to be connected. Yeah, it was key. Absolutely.
According to the Federal Communications Commission, nearly 25% of people that live in rural areas don't have access to steady broadband services.
Is it better to ask questions while we're walking?
An animal rights group called a Minnesota County Fair exhibit exploitation, but the trainer who runs tiger encounters at the Carver County Fair called her shows educational. Reg Chapman attended the fair and broke down both sides of the debate.
Come here, Mara.
Most people in small communities never get a chance to see a big cat up close, but that is not the case in Waconia, site of the Carver County Fair.
She's like a toddler. She's a typical house cat. She's a very short attention span.
Samara is a 2-year-old golden tabby Bengal tiger. Felicia Frisco has dedicated her life to bringing her tigers to the public to educate people about their plight.
There's less than 5,000 in the wild today. They believe there's as few as 3,500 in the wild today. So they've lost over 80% of their natural forests. They're not able to kind of migrate and to be able to breathe.
There has been some pushback about Frisco presenting her tiger encounter at the Carver County Fair. The Minnesota State Director of the Humane Society, Zach Eichten, issued a statement that said, forcing tigers to perform circus tricks under the threat of punishment isn't educational, it's an embarrassment. The cruelty of using tigers as business commodities rolling around with a trainer has nothing to do with conservation or preservation of the species.
Everyone has a right to their opinion on how they feel about this. And they say I'm exploiting my animals because 4 weeks out of the year I do educational shows with them. The rest of the time I am home, I work a normal job. But then they turn around and support facilities that are open 365 days a year, that charge people to come see their cats 365 days a year. Those people take an income, their CEOs take an income, their entire staff, they are making money off of their animals.
Frisco says she hopes people come out and experience the show for themselves before making a decision about whether it's right or wrong to present big cats at the Carver County Fair.
We're talking about them, and then it kind of shows the relationship that I have with them. The show is based on kind of what they want to participate in. Sometimes they come out and join me, sometimes they don't.
So far, there have been no protests over the tigers, just lots of eyes trying to get a glimpse of them. Well, a civil lawsuit against the 10 fake electors in Wisconsin for Donald Trump will move forward. The lawsuit says the electors were part of a Trump conspiracy to overturn his loss in the 2020 presidential race. It also seeks to disqualify the Republicans from ever serving as electors again. Republicans who participated in Wisconsin said they were trying to preserve Trump's legal standing in the case. Courts overturned his defeat. La Crosse's Bill Feehan is one of the fake electors. He's the current chair of the GOP 3rd Congressional District. The case is scheduled to go to trial by jury in September of next year. The Wildwood Wildlife Park in Minocqua welcomed a new baby giraffe. Tafari got to go outside and show himself off to park goers for the first time yesterday. At 6 foot tall and 130 pounds, Tafari is not tall enough to reach the feeders, making interns feed him until he's big enough. Park staff say Tafari will help educate park goers more about how giraffes grow up from birth to adulthood. And here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Duo. We are looking at some showers and a few thunderstorms that continue to move through the Coulee region this morning. And a lot of these are producing some heavy downpours as they continue to track their way towards the east. Let's start off with our southern communities here. And you can see areas like into Monroe County, like Tomah, Hillsborough, Viroqua, and also into Richwood, looking at some heavy downpours. Here's US 14, and you can see they're dealing with some heavy rain as well. Also up north towards US 12, looking at some heavy rain. Same up towards US 10 and into Wood County now, Marshfield, Neelsville, Black River Falls, into Warren. Still looking at some light to moderate rain that's currently moving through your neighborhood. And a lot of this activity continues to move its way towards the east. So this should clear out here within the next hour or so now as it continues to move away. So your mowing conditions today, well, you know, it's looking a little bit wet here to start, as we just saw. But as we head towards noon, I think we'll start to see some clearing. 78 degrees, a slight chance of a shower. Still can't be completely ruled out. I think we'll see some better mowing conditions around 5 o'clock today with some sunshine in the forecast with temperatures at around 85 degrees. But we do have more chances of showers and even some thunderstorms as well in the forecast as we get near the early to night hours. We'll talk about that coming up in the full weather forecast in a few minutes. Also coming up in our Buzz Report, the 75th Annual Emmy Awards have been delayed until January. The reasons why after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Heavy showers and some embedded thunderstorms continue to move through the Coulee region now, and you can see on our radar picture that a lot of this is almost ending, but we still got some ways to go here for some of us, such as down into Richwood and also along US 14 into Hillsborough. East of Viroqua, you're getting a bit of a break now. However, Tomah looking at some heavy rain showers that continue to move through. Adam and Juneau County also looking at some heavy downpours, and the same could be said now for areas moving into western Wood County and east of Neelsville, Marshfield, looking at some heavy downpours that continue to move through. And all this activity continues to move in a linear fashion off towards the east. So within the next hour or so, I'm expecting some of these showers and thunderstorms to begin to clear out as this low pressure system begins to pull away from us here over time as well. So we'll get to that here in a second. But I do want to show you right now what it looks like on SkyTracker, and you can see those showers and storms that continue to move their way towards the east. So by around 9 o'clock, I'm expecting all this to come to an end for the most part. There could be a couple of light scattered showers in some portions of the area here, however, that may remain. But by 2 o'clock, I expect everything to come to a close, and that's when skies will turn mostly sunny. Here 6 o'clock this evening, and you can see things are looking clear as well. I'm watching for another chance, though, of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, as you can see near the Chippewa Valley and also for portions of our southern communities, including the La Crosse area. And these are the storms that we'll have to watch out for that may turn strong to severe here at times as well, which we'll get to here in a second. And then as we head into tonight, by around midnight or so, that's when most, if not all, those storms should come to an end. And by 3 o'clock especially, they'll be long gone with mostly clear skies there in the forecast tonight. And then by the beginning of your weekend, as we head into tomorrow morning, northwest winds there, mostly clear skies, slight chance of a shower up towards northern Wisconsin near the Chippewa Valley. But other than that, things will remain pretty quiet for tomorrow. But again, not so quiet here for tonight for some of us under this level 2. Slight risk of severe weather across much of the Coulee region. Gusty winds, some large hail and heavy rain will be the primary concerns with those thunderstorms that may develop between the hours of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So keep it here to News 8. We'll keep you updated on that. But you know, this is good news though for the droughts, because this just came in yesterday, this new report that is of the Drought Monitor Index, and you can see the majority of the Coulee region still continues to be in that moderate drought status. There's even some parts even down across our southern communities that are under that severe category, and also towards our southeastern communities under that extreme drought status as well. So we could definitely take any rain that we could possibly get. Very cloudy start from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Current temperatures are at 69 degrees, south-southeast winds at 21 miles an hour, very windy, gusty up to 25 miles an hour. As a matter of fact, there 65 degrees with cloudy skies now in Eau Claire, but wind speeds looking much calmer here, however. Current temperature readings are into the 60s as you head out the door this morning. And here's a check down your daycast. We'll be at 78 with partly cloudy skies at noon, 86 and sunny by around 4 o'clock. And then heading into 8 o'clock, that's when I'm watching for the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms that could develop again there. Forecast highs today into those mid-80s this afternoon. Here's a check now on your 8-day forecast. And you can see heading into tomorrow, mostly sunny. I'm watching for a chance of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and then again on Monday of early next week. Other than that, the rest of next week, for the most part at least, looking at mix of clouds and sun with highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. Watching for a slight chance of a thunderstorm or two again on Thursday.
In our Morning Buzz report, the 75th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards will be delayed until January. The awards, which are television's top honors, were set to take place next month. Now they'll be pushed back to January 15, 2024, according to a joint announcement from the Television Academy and Fox. The reason behind the delay is the ongoing writers and actors strike. January 15th of next year will fall on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
It's amazing. Yeah, you know, it's good to be able to have something to go, somewhere to go after work to release. You know, no drinking at the bars. I'd much rather be here riding Fury.
A North Carolina roller coaster has reopened after a crack was discovered in the ride's structure last month. Carowinds Amusement Park in Charlotte announced that repairs have been made to the roller coaster and it's now safe to ride. The ride, named Fury 325, is billed as the fastest, longest Giga coaster in North America. It rises to a towering height of 325 feet and travels at speeds of up to 95 miles per hour. Now the big question is, who's feeling brave enough to ride it? Award-winning actress and performer Melba Moore now has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The actress is known for breaking down racial barriers in Hollywood and on Broadway. She was a member of the original cast of Hair and became the first black woman to play the lead role of Fantine in Les Miserables. Moore won a Tony Award in 1970 and has been nominated for 4 Grammys. Next time you're in Hollywood, you can check out Moore's star at the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Vine Street.
How about that roller coaster?
Oh, absolutely. I would ride it.
I know we were talking about this yesterday with, you know, water slides and then roller coaster theme parks. And roller coasters are more your thing. Water slides were more my thing.
Yeah.
But I got to say, that roller coaster looked pretty cool.
See, I think a lot of people who don't like roller coasters is because they're afraid of heights.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of heights?
You know, it's interesting. I'm not really afraid of heights. I just don't like the feeling in my stomach that I get when you go with the roller coasters.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like you'll feel the same feeling on a water slide.
Yeah.
You know, with that drop off.
Yeah.
But I feel like on a roller coaster, it just feels different. I don't know.
It's the speed, I think.
It's probably the speed. You're right. Yeah.
Well, before we had to break, it's time for today's Look Who's 8.
Got a handful of birthdays to celebrate here for you this morning. Laney is turning 8 now. He loves to he loves Toy Story. By the way, I love Toy Story too. That's a good movie. Godzilla and the Ninja Turtles.
Finley is 8. She loves reading, gymnastics, and playing with friends.
Aisha, excuse me, is 18. Now she's off to St. Mary's University to play soccer and studying nursing.
Paul is turning 80. He's caring, young at heart, and enjoys restoring old tractors.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your morning news now. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says the death of a man at a gentleman's club is officially a homicide. The Sheriff's Office says its investigation with the DOJ is ongoing. On June 30, police found 55-year-old Andrew Frechette dead in a car outside the Jimmy's In Between in the town of Alma. Anyone with information that could help the investigation is urged to call the Jackson County Communications Center. You can also submit anonymous tips to the Jackson County Crime Stoppers. We'll have that information on our website and our app. The man accused of escaping police in Prairie du Chien and trying to disarm an officer was in court. 26-year-old Paul Drummondson pleaded not guilty to charges of attempting to disarm a peace officer, possession of narcotic drugs, and resisting an officer. Crawford County Police say he escaped police and stole a car outside a hospital earlier this month. While on the run, he bought heroin, ditched the car near Stoddard, and made it on foot to La Crosse before police found him. That's according to the criminal complaint. Drummondson also allegedly tried to grab one of the police officer's guns because he, quote, wanted to be killed. Drummondson is being held on a $10,000 cash bond. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin made a stop in Fort McCoy to tour new buildings that she helped secure funding for. Baldwin acquired $69 million for the fort. $38 million went towards building a new permanent barracks that is expected to house 400 enlisted soldiers. The other $31 million went towards barracks that are utilized for 160 officers during training. The Ashley for the Arts Music Festival is underway in Arcadia. The weekend-long festival will feature bands like REO Speedwagon, One Republic, Walk the Moon, as well as a few others. The festival will also host a few other events like an inflatable air park, craft fair, and a military K-9 demonstration. For more information about the event, we'll have a link to their website on news8000.com. 18th Annual Irish Fest kicks off today in La Crosse. Volunteers spent the day yesterday putting the final touches on the Southside Fest grounds. There is a full lineup of music, cultural experiences, Highland games, and a whole lot more. Some of the performances on the main stage will be Screaming Orphans, Gaelic Storm, and Glen Castle. Tickets will be $25 for a 3-day pass. One-day passes will be $15. Children 17 and under can attend for free.
Here's a check now on your planner for today, and we are looking at some of those showers that continue to move through the Coulee region through the morning, and we're going to be turning sunny here as we head into the afternoon hours today with our afternoon highs into those low to mid 80s. I'm watching for a chance of more thunderstorms though as we head into tonight, stuff that we'll keep our eyes on for the potential of severe weather heading into tomorrow. Mostly sunny, followed by more thunderstorms Sunday and then again Monday of next week.